Welcome to the Dowden Podcast. I'm your host, the official CRG, and today I want to talk about how video games can improve brain function and cognitive skills if used in moderation. But before we get started, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. That way you don't miss any weekly episodes and posts. You can find video of this episode strictly on YouTube, but the audio everywhere else. But to get right into it, the first video game was created in 1958, having the man William Higginbottom create the first tennis-based game called Tennis for Two. But it wasn't until the 70s when a game called Pong came out, almost just like the one before, capturing the public's attention, having people rush to libraries and trying to buy computers, having this become the new big form of entertainment. Since then, video games have developed in a way that people couldn't even comprehend, having virtual reality devices coming out made by different companies, and video games becoming so realistic it almost feels like you're right there. But throughout the years, this topic has sparked some scientists' attention, having them go through the pros and cons of video games and really study what it does to our brains. For example, from 2019 to 2023, scientists ran tests on more than 2,200 children from the age of 9 to 10, discovering that children who played video games more than 21 hours a week versus ones that didn't did better on a impulse behavior test and a memorization one. And through that, they also noticed that children who did play games had more activity in regions than children who didn't, boosting more attention and memorization. Now, it is important to state that the type of game you play is crucial when it comes to your brain function and overall health. For example, researchers and scientists have found that video games can boost your mental health and even help your brain prepare for high stakes situations, debating on the video games you choose to play. However, playing very violent games or even just games for a long time in general can reduce the size of your frontal lobe, which is in sync with your emotion regulation. And it can also decrease in your prefrontal lobe activity, which can increase in moodiness, anxiety, and aggression. So at the end of the day, video games do have some pros and cons, but to say video games are completely bad for your health overall, that is just simply not true because the research is there. And if you play video games in moderation, you can see brain development and other properties in your brain debating on the type of video games you play. But with that said, today's quote is by Gracious Quotes. They once said, "Failure doesn't mean the game is over. It means try again with experience." I appreciate you tuning in. You can follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And this is the Dowden Podcasts.